The Musqueam First Nations is very, very honored and pleased to be joining Langara in this naming ceremony today. As Langara College is located on the traditional territory of the Musqueam First Nation, this event both acknowledges and reflects the respect and strength of the relationship between Langara College and the Musqueam people. This ceremony marks the first time a BC First Nations has given an Indigenous name to a public post-secondary institution. I am pleased to learn that the name Sanewa Laylam, I still haven't got it right, which means House of Teachings, has been given to Langara College. The word is used traditionally to reference the advice given to the child to build their character and to guide them into adulthood. This name is very appropriate for an institution of higher learning, as education is an integral part of one's life's journey and helps with the transition from childhood to adulthood.
The rock for Musqueam Village and the plaque we will place on it is a visible reminder to our community of our location on Musqueam traditional territory and the importance that we place on our ongoing relationship and our commitment to being a house of teachings.
Our children, our grandchildren, the elders, when they walk by, they will witness to see the name on the stone that is conjunction with the university. The name with Laylam is on that stone, and it will be here to the last sunrise.
I also want to take this time to acknowledge Langara for doing this work. Even though you're not legally bound to do it, you've taken some of those steps to acknowledge and pass on that history and knowledge of the Musqueam people. It's the younger generation like myself that reap the benefits for all the hard work of those leaders that went forward in front of us to make sure that we get this accomplished. Mayor, I would like to really acknowledge you and the work that you've done on behalf of the City of Vancouver, working with the First Nations. I think it's leaders like that, the leaders that come from the government, show that commitment to our First Nation and our community. So for that, I'd like to acknowledge and thank each and every one of you.
This is one of those wonderful days where we get to build connections and celebrate relationships. And the relationship between the Musqueam First Nation and Langara and this whole part of the world is deep and strong and continues to build. There is more and more growing demand from First Nations learners for opportunities in higher education. And that's not just when they're 18. Sometimes it's when they're 28 or 38. And that applies to the whole population. Our job is to make sure that those individuals get the training they need.
This naming here is a really strong and proactive reconciliation for this institution in honor and respect to the Musqueam people whose traditional lands it's built on.
It's a real honor to be here today at such a momentous occasion. We've been really supportive as a city of these efforts. Reconciliation is a big deal for us in Vancouver. We were the first municipality in Canada to proclaim a year of reconciliation and to commit ourselves to being a city of reconciliation. But those words are hollow unless they're backed up with real action. The incredible hope and optimism we have for our future and a new understanding between all cultures, that's what this is all about. Renaming is really important here, and this name, I think we all need to say it 3 times out loud. First time, Snaneath Laylam. Snaweath Laylam. Snaneath. Okay. Yeah, we all need to come to Langara and take some courses in adult education. We are on the unceded traditional territory of the Musqueam, the Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. We recognize that fully. Thanks to the singers and drummers for bringing us that spirit, to the elders and all the leaders present for all of your work to make this happen. Thank you. Haichka.